afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. Finally get it right.
We've messed it up every day this week.
Every day's Thursday.
I know, it feels
We're going to have your pet questions coming up a little later on. We'll let you know how to write in for Carrie Donahue.
That's right, veterinarian Carrie Donahue. That's coming up in just a little bit.
But first, here's what's making news this Thursday. A police pursuit of a car on the east side ends with an arrest, but it came with a lot of drama around an apartment complex. We'll have a live report.
With war raging, pressure is mounting to get more humanitarian support into Gaza. I'm Skyler Henry at the White House with President Biden's stance as Congress works to find a breakthrough on an Israel aid package.
And we'll show you how a Middleton school principal took matters into her own hands and got behind the wheel of a school bus.
Helping out is right. Let's take a look outside. The sun was out today. Not bad. Temperatures getting better.
The sun really makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does. And not a bad weekend coming up. Jacob's in the backyard patio to tell us all about it.
Yeah, temperatures right now are certainly warmer than yesterday, and the temperatures right now are going to stay right around here, at least for the high temperatures, as we head into the weekend. Looking at the current temperatures, 52 in Madison. We are seeing some clouds, but for the most part, there is a lot of sunshine. Looking across Dane County, temperatures are a bit warmer than we initially anticipated. We had highs kind of in the upper 40s, but they're in the lower to middle 50s right now, at least for Dane County and places to the south. There are parts of our region in the 40s. But in general, a lot warmer than yesterday. Some places up to 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Typically, you see big amounts in terms of temperatures being colder than yesterday because cold fronts can make a huge difference. But you don't often see temperatures up to 15, close to 20 degrees warmer than a given time yesterday. But right now, we are certainly a lot warmer. Looking at the forecast for this evening, we are going to see temperatures dropping into the 40s by 6 p.m., maybe a little bit earlier than that. But we are going to continue to see clear skies. For tonight, we are going to see clouds develop later in the night as low temperatures will be in the lower 40s, upper 30s, so the overnight lows will once again be warmer than last night. But as I mentioned, temperatures, at least the high temperatures, are going to stay about what we're at right now for the weekend. So the weekend's not going to be too bad, but I'll talk more in detail about that and track our next chance of rain coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. A police chase on Madison's east side this afternoon ended with a tactical team entering an apartment building and arresting a man they say fled police in the past.
Our Braden Ross is live at the scene where all of this unfolded this afternoon. Braden, what can you tell us about what happened there today?
Yeah, well, if you look behind me here, this is the door where that man entered the Meadowlands apartments. It was after he was on a police chase. He was fleeing from police. You can take a look at this video here sent to us by a neighbor. You can see the end of that chase unfolding. We're told all this started as a part of a countywide initiative to find and recover stolen cars. Monona Police Chief Brian Cheney told us earlier one of his officers was in the area of the Meadowlands apartments earlier today as a part of that initiative before that chase. He says the driver then led the police on a chase into Sun Prairie and then back here to the Meadowlands where the driver jumped out of the moving car and ran into the building. We arrived on scene shortly after to dozens of law enforcement vehicles at this complex. It was a few hours later when a tactical team arrived and police entered the building and arrested the driver. Now, the Meadowlands apartments here has been an issue in Madison for a while now. Earlier this year, it was declared a public nuisance by the city of Madison. Multiple people we talked to, residents and neighbors, tell us they're just fed up with this violence. Some of them telling us they're ready to move out. Mark and Susan.
Braden, thank you. Madison's Goodman Community Center was put under a brief lockdown earlier today due to a possible threat. The lockdown was lifted, but the center closed for the day at 1 o'clock this afternoon. During the lockdown, doors were locked and lunch programming was canceled. Staff gave the all clear around noon. Madison police have not released any information about the possible threat. There is breaking news out of the state capitol today. Republicans in the assembly are moving forward with ousting the state's top elections official.
That's a move confirmed this afternoon by political reporter Will Keneally, who joins us now with all the latest. Will.
So we confirmed with the Assembly Speaker's office just a few moments ago that a resolution seeking to impeach the state's nonpartisan chief elections official was referred to committee today. Now, that's the first step to remove her from office. Republicans had floated the idea of impeaching Wisconsin Elections Commission Administrator Megan Wolf earlier this year. Now, the GOP-controlled state Senate tried to fire her in September, but Wolf sued to remain in her position. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos told News 3 Now just 3 weeks ago that he did not want to go down the impeachment route and to let the Wolf's court case play out instead. Now, late last week, though, a Dane County judge sided with Wolf, allowing her to temporarily remain at the helm of the state's election agency. Now, what's changed in those last 3 weeks? Just earlier this week, a conservative group started running ads threatening to recall the Assembly Speaker if he did not move forward on the impeachment process. Now, Speaker Vos is the official who decides whether to move that impeachment process forward in the Assembly. We asked his office whether that factored into his decision, and they responded with no, that, quote, all bills get referred to committee. Now, Republicans right now do have enough of a majority in both chambers that they can impeach Wolf without needing any Democrats to join them. And stay tuned throughout the evening with News 3 Now, as we will provide more updates.
All right, well, thank you. A school bus full of children can be a lot for a driver to take on, especially while trying to keep their eyes on the road. A Middleton principal has responded to the need for extra help by taking the bus herself. Our Catherine Merck was at pickup this morning and shows us what this added measure means for the staff.
One Middleton principal is taking a break from the driver's seat of her school to take a rider's seat on this bus.
The adult that's in charge needs to face forward and pay attention to the road, and so it's helpful when one of us is on to kind of help kids.
For several weeks, Elm Lawn Elementary Principal Lisa Rust has taken both the early morning and afternoon school buses to help respond to student behavior. Driver Cody Bratton tells me it can be hard to tell his kids to stay safe while he's trying to focus on the road. The extra support from administration has been helpful, especially in a time when bus driver positions are already difficult to fill.
I want to say we average 3,500 miles a day driving students. We transport 4,000 students, so safety is paramount. And knowing that we're supported by administrators, it's wonderful.
Principal tells me she's not going to ride the bus forever. However, they're going to continue to monitor the children's behavior on the bus, and maybe she'll get back in the rider's seat if needed. Reporting in Middleton, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. The mayors from Denver and Chicago were in Washington, D.C. today for meetings at the White House to discuss the migrant crisis, which is straining their city resources. Mayor Mike Johnston of Denver and Brandon Johnson of Chicago took their concerns to the nation's capital as their cities struggle to care for and house a growing population of migrants. The mayor of Chicago says the migrant crisis is costing his city $40 million a month.
We inherited this crisis that, quite frankly, has been, an international and a national dynamic that has gone unaddressed for a very long time.
We think the current situation is unsustainable, but also we think that there is a common sense path to get to a workable solution.
In a letter to President Biden from Denver Mayor Johnston, they were joined by the mayors of Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, and New York, and they all asked for additional federal funding as well as the accelerated approval of work authorizations and a coordinated entry process for migrants. The mayors are asking Congress to approve President Biden's request of $1.4 billion to help cities and states. Nearly 4 weeks now into the war, Israeli troops are on the edges of Gaza City.
But pressure is increasing for a pause in the fighting to aid civilians. Skylar Henry has more.
Israeli ground troops are closing in on Hamas strongholds, fighting militants on the edges of Gaza City. Israel is warning civilians to head south. Those who don't are paying a heavy price. Thousands have died amidst massive destruction. Israel's military says Hamas is holding more hostages than they'd originally calculated, now raising the number to 242, including dozens of children. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will be back in Israel on Friday, working on their release.
We will focus as well on steps that need to be taken to protect civilians who are in a crossfire of Hamas's making. And we want to look at concrete steps that can be taken to better protect them.
President Biden has shown staunch support for Israel, but he's also calling for a humanitarian pause to get hostages out and aid to civilians. The conflict has created a divide in Congress. The new House Speaker is promising quick action on an Israel aid package.
We're going to do it in short order, and it provides Israel the aid it needs to defend itself, free its hostages, and eradicate Hamas.
Over in the Senate, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling the House bill woefully inadequate. Dozens of Americans trapped in Gaza since the war began are finally making their way home. Palestinians with dual citizenship have been allowed to exit through Rafah Gate into Egypt, while trucks enter carrying urgently needed humanitarian aid. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And while Secretary Blinken is in Israel, he's expected to ask the government for brief pauses in military operations.
The former street gang leader charged with orchestrating the 1996 drive-by killing of Tupac Shakur will not face the death penalty. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis entered a not guilty plea during his arraignment today in a Las Vegas courtroom. The 60-year-old Davis was arrested at his Henderson, Nevada home in September after being indicted by a grand jury for murder with use of a deadly weapon. Prosecutors say they do not plan to seek the death penalty in this case, meaning Davis could face life in prison if convicted.
That was my water bottle.
Yeah.
No
Big crash. Everyone's okay.
It's fine. It didn't break. Preparations are underway for this year's Radio City Music Hall's Christmas Spectacular, and the animals taking center stage in the production received a special blessing. Cardinal Timothy Dolan, the Archbishop of New York, sprinkled holy water and prayed over the sheep, camel, and donkey starring in the show. They'll make their big debut alongside the Rockettes on November 17th in the Living Nativity scene. Some of the famous dancers were also outside Radio City this morning for the blessing.
We're so lucky to have these beautiful animals join us as co-workers, and they're amazing, and we really feel so honored to be part of it.
Even the beloved animals have their part as they're keeping the Savior of the world warm on that cold Bethlehem night. It kind of shows us that all of creation has a part to play in welcoming the Savior.
The Living Nativity scene has been part of the Radio City Christmas show since it first began in 1933.
The holidays are almost here,
Absolutely.
Mark.
And if your pet is needing some special blessings, we have our vet standing by later in the show to help you out.
If you have a question for Dr. Carrie Donahue, go ahead and email it now. Send your question to tips@WISC-TV.com. Tips@WISC-TV.com. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding.
That's not right.
It's not right. It's tips.
Tips
at channel3000.com. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Tips@channel3000.com.
Now that I've just eaten up 45 seconds of the show, sorry about that.
We don't have time for questions.
No. Tips@channel3000.com.
Okay.
Okay. We're new to this show.
When it comes to your health, it's always important to get a second opinion for major medical decisions.
When we come back, a Wisconsin woman is walking, talking. She's an example as to why a second opinion is so important. We'll have that story coming up.
At Gruber Law Offices, you pay us nothing until we win your case. We don't get paid until after you get paid. It costs you nothing to get the help you need after a serious accident. The call, free. The consultation, free. Our team can answer your questions and handle your concerns for free. Let our team get you the results and compensation you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Imagine a world with no drama.
I haven't signed Jody's card yet.
At 4imprint, finding the promotional products you need to create a memorable moment is an easy mission. Our expert team will take care of every detail to make your success a certainty. Take the drama out of ordering promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something on the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
Makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says This one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home. So we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more." And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This Thanksgiving is the best time to try Plexiderm with our starter price of only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. The UW football team is going into Saturday's game against the Indiana Hoosiers, still without quarterback Tanner Mordecai.
He broke his hand against Iowa and will now miss his third full game. He caught up with sports director Zach Hanley for this week's Wisconsin Huddle. Mordecai says while it's hard to not be playing, he can still be a good teammate.
It's tough. I mean, the main reason I'm here is to play quarterback for the Badgers, and that's something I can't do, but at the same time, I'm still a leader, so I still have a responsibility to encourage the guys, be there for the guys, and that's kind of the role that I'm taking right now.
Kickoff against Indiana is 11 a.m. on Saturday. You can catch the full episode of the Wisconsin Huddle Friday at 6:30.
All signs are pointing toward a happy 2023 holiday season for retailers and their customers. Today, the National Retail Federation released its annual holiday spending forecast for that period. That runs from November 1st through New Year's Eve. The National Retail Federation predicts holiday spending will hit record levels during November and December, 3 to 4% higher than 2022. Economists say this year's anticipated holiday sales growth marks a return to pre-pandemic levels.
This is going to be a decent holiday season, that the consumer continues to be driving this economy, and that, you know, household finances are really in relatively good shape.
The NRF says online spending will continue to outpace in-person shopping, and that gift cards and experiences will be more popular than gifts people unwrap. Additionally, retailers are expected to hire up to 450,000 seasonal workers. That's about 60,000 more people than they brought in seasonally in 2022. Stocks rally as investors are betting the Fed is finished with its rate hike campaign. The Dow Industrial surged 564 points, the Nasdaq up 232, and the S&P 500 added almost 80 points. A second opinion can be the #1 best thing you can do for your health.
An Appleton woman found this out, and our Brady Mallory is showing us how she hopes her story will inspire you to do the same. Brady?
Tina Dieg was busy planning a walk down the aisle as her wedding approached. Then her life took an unexpected turn after a heartbreaking diagnosis.
This makes me smile every day.
The only thing that sparkles more than this diamond is Tina Dieg when she talks about her wedding day last July.
Oh, it's the best day ever.
While many brides wonder whether to have their hair up or down, Dieg just wanted to have hair.
You want to look good. You want to feel good. I wasn't ready to lose hair.
2 years ago, doctors diagnosed Dieg with metastatic breast cancer. That means it had spread to other places in her body, making it stage 4.
Stage 4, when I hear stage 4, I think, how much time do I have left? Like, this isn't good.
Metastatic breast cancer isn't curable, but patients like Dieg can treat and manage the cancer to keep it contained. At first, Dieg's options were aggressive forms of chemo, which come with hair loss and sickness.
At that time, it was something I just was not interested in. I looked at my fiance, I said, no, I'm not doing this. And I wanted to feel good.
With her wedding in mind, Deeg found a second opinion at UW Carbone Cancer Center, where she met Dr. Melinda West.
She didn't want to leave any rock unturned in her cancer journey.
Together, they got Deeg into a clinical trial, which treats her cancer with immunotherapy.
Which really harnesses the body's own immune system to target and tackle the breast cancer in combination with like our estrogen blockers, which is a standard of care approach for kind of breast cancer.
It's different from and doesn't involve the same side effects as traditional aggressive chemotherapy.
Which is a really non-specific target that just attacks rapidly dividing cells. And therefore, all the healthy tissue that also has rapidly dividing cells have side effects, like hair follicles, which can cause hair loss.
The treatment is working to shrink Deeg's cancer and is preventing it from spreading more.
That's what my hope is. My hope is to just keep on shrinking my tumors and hopefully have one of those scans where it's undetectable.
Deeg says this experience taught her to always fight for herself.
This is always one of these, you know, you have to do that. You have to self-advocate.
Which brings us back to last July. Dr. West was there to see Deeg marry Daniel.
She is just incredibly full of life and positive and just, I mean, at this point, she's really become almost like family.
Tina Deeg didn't lose her hair for her wedding day, and she gained something even more valuable than a diamond.
I'm like, the cancer's not taking me. I'm going to be the first to beat this. There is hope.
Now, clinical trials are never guaranteed to work for everyone. Everyone's different, but West says they are keys to new, better, and more tolerable treatments for those living with incurable forms of cancer. Now, she says to always seek a second opinion if you need one, and talk with your doctor about which type of treatment, clinical trial or otherwise, is right for your diagnosis.
And Tina, thank you for sharing your story. That is her real hair.
Yeah.
Her hair came back and it's more beautiful than ever.
Yeah, and Dr. West said that one of the goals with treating incurable cancer is to treat it like a chronic illness if you can get to that point. And her treatment will be ongoing, but like she said, hopefully she'll get an undetectable scan coming up.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, Brady, thank you.
Thank you, Brady.
Well, we gain an hour of sleep this weekend.
We'll find out why we time shift twice a year, coming up a little later in Beyond the Barometer. That's coming up.
Drum roll, please. It's Champion's Factory Direct Sale. Don't miss these year-end savings. Champion replacement windows are 30% off.
That's a great deal.
Our windows come direct from our factory to you.
No middleman. No markups.
Get factory direct pricing 30% off. Plus, book your free estimate by Black Friday for an additional $70 off every window. Hurry, this factory direct sale won't last long. Call or schedule online at getchampionwindows.com.
Don't miss the 34th Annual Winter Art Fair off the Square, November 11th and 12th at the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Featuring over 100 Wisconsin exhibitors with a wonderful selection of ceramics, paintings, glass art, wood, jewelry, and much more. Place your bids at our silent auctions Saturday only. Children will enjoy the Young Collector's Corner. Buy local for the holidays. The Winter Art Fair off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
Imagine if you could get ahead of your IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain. Say yes to Linzess. Linzess is not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. These aren't all the side effects. Get ahead of it. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn how AbbVie and Ironwood could help you save on Linzess.
Ivisia Dry Eye Drops. Made with hydrating polymers, moisturizing hyaluronic acid, and revitalizing trehalose for instant dryness relief that lasts up to 8 hours. Ivisia, we see a better way.
A 33-year-old woman has fenders and a new headlight installed on her bike, but the parts are badly designed and cause her to crash. She never walks again. She decides to hire Habish, Rotier, and she receives $14.5 million. The Habish team negotiates with the headlight manufacturer in Germany, the fender company in Hong Kong, the fender designer in Madison, and the bike shop in Seattle. It is literally the opposite of one phone call and a quick settlement. Habish, Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Pick and Save gives you so many ways to save, on top of our lower than low prices. Enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Plus, our weekly sales will keep your budget merry and bright. So get rewarded and save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Well, take a look at this. In Ohio, auto shop employees employed a unique trapping technique of their own, using a forklift to catch a suspected car thief in the act, and in midair, no less. Arlington auto wrecking employees claimed this was the third time the man tried to break into one of their cars. So they sprung into action using a forklift to grab the car and the suspect in it 20 feet into the air. They called police, who came out to collect this gift-wrapped suspect. That's good thinking.
That's some pretty good thinking. Yep.
And if you have any pet questions, we just want to bring this up again because I got it wrong before. If you have a question for Dr. Carrie Donahue, it's tips@channel3000.com.
Right. If you have a question for Carrie, and she's coming up in just a little while. Tips@channel3000.com.
Okay. We got that right?
Now we got it right.
I don't know what was said before. I was over in the weather office.
We're not going to say it because we don't want to confuse people. So anyway, turned out to be a pretty nice day.
Yeah, temperatures reached the 50s, and they're going to stay in the 50s for the next couple of days. I'll have the details about our next chance of rain and when the temperatures will drop again coming up right after the break.
When migraine strikes, you're faced with a choice. Ride it out with the trade-offs of treating, or push through the pain and symptoms. With Ubrelvy, there's another option. One dose works fast to eliminate migraine pain. Treat it anytime, anywhere, without worrying where you are or if it's too late.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Allergic reactions to Ubrelvy can happen. Most common side effects were nausea and sleepiness.
Migraine pain relief starts with you. Ask about Ubrelvy. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Turn up the heat with early bird holiday hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Cozy up. Kids and ladies socks are $4.99 a pair, and assorted dog sweaters are just $3.99. Aromatherapy animals are only $6.88. Get sizzling savings. This multi-cooker is only $35.59, and this flat iron gas griddle just $179.99. Other stores have this patio heater for $159.99, but it's Menards' hottest deal at just $69.99. Don't miss out. The early bird gets the deal.
Save big money at Menards.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul, or tow. Just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours.
The next generation of streaming is here. Introducing Spectrum One Stream with Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds, advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security on your devices, Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data, and now TV with the all-new Xumo Stream Box. Get Spectrum One Stream with Internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi, a free unlimited Spectrum mobile line, and the Xumo Stream Box, free when you add Spectrum TV. Call 833-976-4999. With Spectrum and Xumo, all your favorites are brought together in one place. Use the voice remote to search across live TV, on-demand movies and shows, and the most popular streaming apps to watch what you want faster and easier than ever. It's streaming simplified. Get Spectrum One Stream with Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, mobile, and now TV. Go to spectrum.com/stream, a Spectrum store, or call 833-976-4999.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Here are the 3 things you need to know for the rest of the week through the weekend. Temperatures are going to continue to warm up throughout the weekend. We may even see high temperatures reach the middle 50s some days. Generally dry, though, through Sunday. A slight chance of a rain here or of a shower here or there, but in general, we're not expecting to see a lot of precipitation until we get to next week, where we are going to see several rounds of potential rainfall. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But first, let me talk about the next 24 hours or so. We're going to see clouds really increase during the overnight hours, and then that will continue into tomorrow morning with maybe a light shower late morning, early afternoon, but anything that does fall will be very light. Clouds will be a bit more broken up by the time we get to the overnight hours Friday, and then we're going to continue to see some on and off sunshine as we get into Saturday. Now, looking at the temperature forecast for tonight, we're going to see lows dropping into the upper 30s and lower 40s, and as I mentioned, we are going to see plenty of cloud cover throughout the night. For tomorrow, the clouds are going to continue, but temperatures are going to stay pretty much what they were today. We'll see highs in the lower 50s. Some areas may stay in the upper 40s, just about the high temperatures we saw today, although today we saw a lot more sunshine. And then for the weekend, temperatures will stay relatively consistent again with around 50 for Saturday and then possibly mid-50s for Sunday. We might see a few showers Sunday, especially later in the day, but the best chance of rain will come on Monday. Now, the rainfall on Monday will really cool things off for next week. Not going to be as cold as it was for Halloween, but we'll see highs back in the lower 40s, and Monday especially could be pretty mild with highs possibly in the upper 50s. Now, looking at future track, this is beginning on Sunday. Not going to really see a lot of rain until Sunday night into early Monday morning, but we'll see widespread rainfall. Not expected to be very heavy, but it likely will impact much of our area. And then throughout next week, we're going to see more on and off chances of rainfall. It looks like the best chance of rain after Monday will be on Wednesday. And there also could be some snow, especially in the northern portion of the state. But it looks like southern Wisconsin will be a bit too warm to see snowfall until the end of the week, whereas by the time we get to Thursday, when temperatures fall, that's our best chance to see some snowfall, but we're once again not expected to see any accumulation. So looking at the rainfall total over the next week or so, we're likely going to be below an inch, so even the rain threats Monday and Wednesday are not expected to be significant, although we could definitely see some moderate rain at times, and it will likely impact much of our area. Let's also take a second and look at our weather photo of the day. This was sent in by John, showing some very nice fall colors. Now, the fall colors are kind of disappearing as the temperatures fall. The leaves are also falling with them. So thank you, John, for submitting the photo. And you can submit your own photo either through the app or through this email address on screen, which is firstwarn@WISC-TV.com, or through channel3000.com. Now, looking at the 7-day forecast, highs, like I mentioned, will rise into the 50s, possibly upper 50s for Monday. And then as that rain and possibly snow moves in, the temperatures are going to fall. We'll see highs in the lower 40s by the end of the work week. Overnight lows will likely drop back below freezing. And then we have another chance of rain for Sunday of next weekend. And as we talked about, daylight savings is this weekend, and Gary has more on daylight savings.
Gary's here with us. We gain an hour of sleep.
We gain an hour of sleep, we lose an hour of sunlight. People always wonder, why do we switch the clocks? Can we just keep it the same time all year round? Well, Beyond the Barometer, we'll see if we could tackle some of that. So let's take a look at this week's Beyond the Barometer. So first thing we need to do is take a look at why we have daylight saving time in the first place. So if you take a look at sunrise sunset times, here is Madison, for example. On the first day of winter, which is usually about our shortest day of the year, our sunrise is at 7:25 and our sunset is at 4:25, okay? So that's standard time. Now, if we were on daylight saving time all year round, that sunrise would be at 8:25 in the morning. And your kids would be going to school, you know, when it's dark out. Whereas on the first day of summer, this is standard time, so our sunset would be at 7:40. Of course, we're on daylight saving time, so you add an hour to that. So basically what we're doing is we're taking an hour from the sunrise in the morning, which is at 4:18 when most people are asleep, and transferring that hour of sunlight into the afternoon or evening when people are still awake. So 7:40 to 8:40 would be our sunrise. Now, if you go south, and basically the two things that really affect the sunrise and sunset times are your latitude, how far north and south you are, and then how far east or west you are in the time zone. So New Orleans is about the same longitude as we are, north and south, but they're farther south in latitude. So notice they don't have as much of a difference between the first day of winter and the first day of summer. Again, this is daylight, these are standard times, so you add an hour to the June first day of summer times. And, but even during the winter, if you added an hour to that, sunrise would be at 7:51. I mean, not great, but you'd have an extra hour of sunset before sunset in the evening. So it makes more sense the farther south you go. The farther west you go, it's a different story. Here's Pierce, South Dakota. They're still in the central time zone. Notice in the winter, their sunrise is at 8:14. You add an hour to that if you had all your daylight saving time, and your sunrise would be at 9:14 in the morning. In the summer, your sunset standard time is 8:29, so when you add an hour for daylight saving time, you're at 9:29, so that's when your sunset would be. And then finally, you take a look, you go north to Duluth, and you can see the effects there. Again, you add an hour to that for winter, and you'd be talking about sunrise times almost at 9 o'clock in the morning, whereas in the summertime, adding an hour, 9:06, I mean, that's a little longer here, but you don't get as much benefit there. So if you take a look at our time zones, this is roughly where our time zones are right now. And you take a look at what we could do. So basically what you want to do is you want to have daylight saving time the farther south you go and the farther east you go in a time zone. So if we change the time zones, we skewed them like this so that the central time zone would basically be from Duluth down to like Laredo, Texas, and the eastern time zone would start like around, say, Buffalo, New York, down to around Tallahassee, Florida. Then basically what you end up is this. Anywhere it says yes, you would keep daylight saving time all year round. Anywhere where it says no, you would stay on standard time to get those time zones to skew up like that. But, I mean, that way you have the best bang for your buck as far as, staying late in the summer, but not having it too dark in the winter. At this point, all of these areas would have sunset or sunrise on the first day of winter somewhere around 8:30 at the very latest. So that's the ultimate solution if we did it. But again, that represents problems. We'd have the same time as Detroit, Michigan, and Cleveland, Ohio, but Minneapolis might be an hour less than us, all year round.
We got to get you testifying on Capitol Hill.
That's when people say, because again, if you go daylight saving time all year round for everybody, it makes no sense in the northern part of the country. It makes perfect sense in the southern part of the country. So it's not one size fits all, but you have to find a way.
You need a bipartisan agreement, and that ain't happening.
That's not happening. You're right.
Gary, thank you.
You're welcome.
Enjoy an hour of sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Traveler Throwback Thursday.
Coming up next, Halloween may have passed, but there were ghostly tales in Mineral Point back in 1985. We'll take you there. We'll go back on Throwback Thursday when Live at 4 continues.
McGann Furniture is closing its doors. The owners are retiring. It's the final weeks of our going out of business sale. Everything in the store must be sold. Store-wide markdowns of up to 47%. Plus, we're taking reasonable offers on everything. Make us an offer on quality name brand furniture, including Amish, dining room sets, bedroom sets, recliners, upholstery, and mattresses. Free financing, special sale hours. Hurry in today to the final weeks going out of business sale at McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to Sam's Hot Takes. What's hot now? Spectrum One Stream. It's internet, unlimited mobile, advanced Wi-Fi, and this Xumo Streambox free with Spectrum TV. It makes searching for shows and movies across live TV and streaming apps easy. It's streaming simplified.
Get internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Plus add Spectrum TV and get a free Xumo Streambox for 12 months. Call 833-788-4999. Visit Spectrum.com or stop by a Spectrum store today.
We've got questions about Medicare plans.
Well, we've got a lot of answers. How can I help?
Well, for starters, do you have a Medicare plan I can actually afford?
How about a plan with a $0 monthly premium?
Well, that's a great start. What other benefits can we get?
Things like dental, vision, and hearing. But let me help you pick the plan that's right for you.
Don't wait. Call 1-800-ETNA for you to get answers to your questions and pick a plan that's right for you. And let's make healthier happen together.
Salonpas, makers of powerful pain relief patches for 89 years, believes in continuous improvement, like rounded corners that resist peeling, with an array of active ingredients and sizes to relieve your pain. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Hold it!
Imagine a world with no drama.
I haven't signed Joni's card yet.
Ordering promotional products guaranteed to create memorable moments is an easy mission at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face
with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
New at 5, we have breaking news. A car chase ends with a tactical team making an arrest. We have the latest from authorities and shocking video from neighbors.
Temperatures will return to near normal this weekend into early next week. And now looks as if the weekend should stay dry, but showers early next week will stay as rain before it turns colder later in the week. Of the weekend, first warn forecast at 5.
Being a bus driver can be pretty tough. Trying to keep your eyes on the road while also trying to keep students in the back safe. I spoke with one principal who's trying to help out with safety in a creative way.
Well, a nice shot, giving the weather satellite a spin. We end up in Washington, D.C. It's 50 degrees, just about the same as here.
Beautiful evening in the nation's capital. Well, Halloween may have just passed, but who doesn't like a good ghost story?
We found a good one in Mineral Point on Halloween in 1985. Here's this week's Traveler Throwback Thursday.
This is a ghost story. A ghost who haunts the Walker House restaurant in Mineral Point. The ghost of Edward Caffey. In 1846, Caffey was a fugitive from the law. He shot a man and hid from the authorities in a back room of the Walker House. But the law caught up with him. He was tried, and on November 1st, 1846, 139 years ago tomorrow, with 5,000 people looking on, Ed Caffey was hanged right here in this area. The people of Mineral Point thought they were done with Ed Caffey. Or were they? Caffey wasn't heard from for over a century. But in the 1960s and 70s, according to those who work here, Ed Caffey returned.
Waitresses or waiters would end up having ghosts sneak up on them, or that was what their impression was. Someone would come up behind them, pull their hair, do something like that. One of the owners in '82, when we were doing the restoration, we were working up in that far north section on a wall, and he felt someone there, and he turned, and he felt something that, he said, it just kind of loomed over him like it was 10 feet tall. He heard something like, do you remember me, or, you know me, something like that, and it just scared the dickens out of me.
Just another ghost story? Michael Norman and Beth Scott have spent the last 9 years chronicling ghost stories from around the Midwest. They don't necessarily believe in ghosts, but they know why the stories are so popular.
It has a lot to do with that eternal question of whether there is life after death, whether or not when we die and are planted in a cemetery such as this, is that it? Is that all? I think that's the great unanswered question that all of us have.
If you believe the stories, there is life after death. Ed Caffey spent his in the Walker House, but he may be gone now. The building has been completely remodeled. Caffey's old haunt isn't the same. And exorcists were brought in 1982. They found 4 spirits lingering here.
I don't think he's here anymore. I don't think any of them are here. I think they've all been released. I think it's a positive thing. Though people like to hear ghost stories, I guess. I think it's a positive thing that they've been released and are on to whatever they need to be doing now.
So whatever did happen to Ed Caffey and the rest of the Walker House spirits? Well, after extensive investigation, News 3 has learned this is their new home. Believe it or not. Traveling with the spirit of Ed Caffey, I'm Mark Kane, WISC News 3.
I think that spurred the whole story.
Yeah, exactly.
We found that.
Exactly.
And worked our way backwards.
Man,
I
love your investigative 60 Minutes voice.
More 48 hours. All right, Dr. Carrie Donahue is standing by, ready to answer your email questions.
Send your questions to tips@channel3000.com. Carrie will answer them right after this. Again, it's tips@channel3000.com.
Nobody wants to think about cold weather, but now's the time to winterproof your home. Is your house cold every winter? Your home needs foam. Are your heating costs too high? Your home needs foam. Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Your home needs foam. USA Premium Foam is over 35% more efficient than ordinary, weaker insulation. Winterproof now and get 0% financing for 72 months.
USA Insulation.
When migraine strikes, you're faced with a choice. Ride it out with the trade-offs of treating, or push through the pain and symptoms. With Ubrelvy, there's another option. One dose works fast to eliminate migraine pain. Treat it anytime, anywhere, without worrying where you are or if it's too late.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Allergic reactions to Ubrelvy can happen. Most common side effects were nausea and sleepiness.
Migraine pain relief starts with you. Ask about Ubrelvy. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Hey, neighbor. You look happy.
I just got the statement from my last doctor visit.
And you're happy about it?
I actually am. I have a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, so I know exactly what's covered. It really helps me to stay on budget.
Is it expensive? I'm on a fixed income, and prices lately make it almost impossible to stick to my budget.
It's actually quite reasonable and saves me money. Plus, I get all the benefits I need in one simple plan, so it's easy and affordable.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield Medicare Advantage plans have prices to fit your budget and provide the benefits you may need in one convenient plan. Just tell us your needs and your zip code, and we'll help you find a plan that's right for you. You may even be able to get a plan with additional benefits like dental, hearing, prescription drug coverage, and more. But you don't get a Medicare Advantage plan automatically. You have to take action. The Medicare annual enrollment period is right now, and you may be eligible for a plan today. Call Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield now to find out what over 32 million friendly neighbors already know about our Medicare Advantage plans. We have knowledgeable licensed insurance agents standing by 24/7, ready to help Medicare members just like you. The call is free and there's no obligation to enroll. You may be able to get a Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits you want.
I had the same plan for years, but it just wasn't working for me anymore. I called and I couldn't believe what they had to offer. Plus, it's the Medicare annual enrollment period right now, so you might even be able to enroll in a plan today.
What's that number again?
Call Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield today. Call 800-608-5381. That's 800-608-5381. 800-608-5381.
It's time now for your first warn traffic. Overall, pretty clear right now. There is a little bit of a slowdown on the eastbound Beltline, but only for less than a mile. Also, a bit of a slowdown on the 151 westbound going towards Verona, but also very small. Also, a few slowdowns in the downtown area, but overall, we are looking very green at this hour. Now, the interstate's also green all the way down south to Janesville. It is clear in both directions. That also is the case for up north towards the Dells. So no problems with the interstate, just a small issue on the Beltline, and overall times are pretty good. Even that slowdown on the eastbound Beltline is causing traffic just to increase by only about 3 minutes, so it's still in the green. Also green from Sun Prairie to downtown on the southbound Beltline. And that's your first warn traffic. Back to you guys at the couch.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Ever wonder which part of a starfish is the head, or do they even have a head at all? Scientists have been curious about this for years, and a group says they finally figured it out. Through molecular analysis of their genes, they've determined that a starfish is mostly just a big head. They say over time, starfish evolved to lose their bodies and become only heads. So starfish are like a disembodied head walking around the seafloor on their lips that sprouted little tube feet. So their arms are not even actually arms, but more like extensions of the head.
Like hair.
Ew.
I bet Carrie Donahue knew that answer.
Carrie is here answering your email questions at tips@channel3000.com. How are you?
Hi, good to see you, Carrie.
How's Poppy?
Oh, Poppy is good. Yes.
We miss Poppy. We got to get her in here one of these days.
I know. I wish I could bring her in. It's just, she's a different dog in here than she is at home.
She doesn't like the car, too, right?
Exactly.
All right, we have a question from Danielle that our lab is 3 years old, has 3 seizures about 7 months apart. The past week he had 2 in 24 hours. Our vet wants to start him on
phenobarbital.
There you go. We are concerned that once we start this medication, it'll be for the rest of his life. What are the risks of starting or not starting this treatment?
Well, the risk of not starting the treatment is that the seizures continue, and usually that is the recommendation. If the seizures are happening more than once a week, it is a good idea to think about starting a medication. There definitely, with phenobarbital, as with any medication, there can be side effects, and that's something to talk to the veterinarian about. What are the potential side effects with starting that medication? A lot of dogs tolerate it really well, but not all of them do.
And what's the cause of the seizures? Do we know?
Do dogs have epilepsy?
Dogs have epilepsy, and usually that's the most common reason why they have seizures. They can have seizures if they get into like a toxin or something like that, or if they have a brain tumor, that's another reason. But most commonly, once you rule everything else out, epilepsy is what's left, and that's the most common diagnosis.
Yes, that's tough to watch, I suppose, for the family too.
Oh, it is. It's so hard because it's something, when your dog or your cat is having a seizure, you really can't do anything about it at that moment. You just have to be with them and help to support them until they get through it. And that's why getting on a daily medication, you know, it's not something that we do lightly, but if it prevents those seizures from happening, then that's a good thing.
I have a personal question. First of the month, I always give the dogs their heartworm medication. I use the Simpatico 3-in-1 heartworm. Do you have to do that all year?
It is recommended to give the heartworm and the flea and tick preventatives all year round. And for a couple of reasons, just for consistency, so that you know once a month, like on the first of the month, your pet is going to get their preventative, and you don't have to think about skipping a month and trying to restart it again. Of course, if you stop heartworm preventative for a month or a couple of months, you always want to do the heartworm test again, just to make sure that nothing got through. And you know, with the weather, the warm fluctuations, even in the middle of winter, anything can start to become active again. The mosquitoes can come out. The ticks certainly can become active if the temperatures go up a little bit. And fleas can live inside. You know, so it is a good idea to do those preventatives once a month. If I had to choose one, I would say heartworm is the most important. If you took a month off of the flea and tick for January, February, that's okay. If it's ice cold out there, that's okay.
I do the all-in-one.
But you do the all-in-one, it's convenient. And then you're covering all your bases once a month.
Carrie, thanks for coming out today.
Good to see you, Carrie.
Thanks for the question. We'll see you next month.
Okay, sounds good.
And we'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
In a Class 3 casino, you're playing against the house, so there's no guarantee a player has to win, ever. And in a Class 2 casino, the players play against each other, and not the house. So someone always wins.
So you're saying... He's saying if you want to win at something, you have to go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, a Class 2 casino where someone has to win. How about this then?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Imagine a world with no drama.
I haven't signed Jody's card yet.
At 4imprint, finding the promotional products you need to create a memorable moment is an easy mission. Our expert team will take care of every detail to make your success a certainty. Take the drama out of ordering promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
Ivisia Dry Eye Drops. Made with hydrating polymers, moisturizing hyaluronic acid, and revitalizing trehalose for instant dryness relief that lasts up to 8 hours. Ivisia, we see a better way.
New at 5, we have breaking news. A car chase ends with a tactical team entering a local apartment building to make an arrest. News 3 Now is at the location as the scene unfolded. The latest from authorities and the shocking video from neighbors coming up next.
This man of many hats is no stranger to community service, but now he's taken his mission to the next level.
It's not something that most sane people would try, I think.
How his plan to do something good can inspire all of us, tonight at 10.
Here's one final check of your forecast. Temperatures are going to remain in the 50s the next couple of days, possibly in the upper 50s for Monday. But Monday is there's a good chance of rain on Monday with some smaller chances for the middle of the week. And that will also cool things off for the end of the work week. Highs will be back in the lower 40s, and they will continue to be in the 40s for the following weekend as we do have another chance of rain on Sunday. And as we talked about earlier, this weekend, the clocks are going to be moved back 1 hour.
The best doorbusters deals of the year are available now at Ashley. Find clearance and overstock mattresses throughout the store at huge discounts while they last. Sealy Queen mattresses as little as $8 a month. Only at Ashley.
Our city has a pulse. Steps from bustling and wild. Come find familiar. Experience new. Live in our rhythm and stay.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
Think all Medicare plans are the same? Think again. With Dean Health Plan, you can get the coverage you need with premiums as low as $0 a month. That includes medical, hospital, and prescription coverage with $0 copays for primary care doctor visits, plus extra benefits like comprehensive dental and savings on over-the-counter pharmacy items. Call 1-855-822-6173 now to request your free Dean Health Plan guide. Dean Health Plan, right here with you.
When migraine strikes, you're faced with a choice. Ride it out with the trade-offs of treating, or push through the pain and symptoms. With Ubrelvy, there's another option. One dose works fast to eliminate migraine pain. Treat it anytime, anywhere, without worrying where you are or if it's too late.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Allergic reactions to Ubrelvy can happen. Most common side effects were nausea and sleepiness.
Migraine pain relief starts with you. Ask about Ubrelvy. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
The best doorbusters deals of the year are available now at Ashley. Save as much as 68% store-wide and find clearance and overstock items throughout the store at huge discounts while they last. Plus 72-month special financing. Only at Ashley.
In today's Final Touch, a search for a pig on the loose gets a star-powered boost.
From a celebrity with the same name, the search for Kevin Bacon is over, thanks in part to Kevin Bacon, even though Kevin Bacon doesn't even know Kevin Bacon. Okay, you confused? Let's explain. Just one day after Chelsea Rounbuck welcomed a cleverly named pig, Kevin Bacon, to her Pennsylvania farm, Kevin rooted underneath the fence and flew the coop, setting off a 2-week search to bring home the bacon, if you will, which proved tougher than expected. The pig proved to be quite wily. While Kevin Bacon was out living footloose and fancy-free, a Facebook page on the search was started, amassing thousands of followers, including, you guessed it, one Kevin Bacon, the actor who's a Pennsylvania native himself and who threw his star power behind the effort. In the end, it was a sticky bun with Benadryl that brought this ham on the lamb to a halt. Good night.
Yes. Well done, Mark.
That's our time for now. Hope to see you here back again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.